Okay, here we are. It's another Creative Life show. This time it's March 31st,
Yeah,
last day of March.
it's
And
gorgeous
it is. We're out here again outside at the boardwalk down by the
by the
ocean.
ocean.
It's lovely today. It's sunny, blue skies.
Not too windy.
Nope, this time
Yeah,
it's not as brisk. And the
it's
sun is going to make me
healing.
sneeze. You keep talking while I sneeze.
Ah.
There we go. So how's that for an opening to a Creative Life show?
Yeah, it's very creative.
And our topic is we haven't a clue at the moment, but we are plunging ahead, which is kind of how the creative life is, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, we don't always have
It's kind of like the part where you have a great new idea
Mm-hmm.
and you're blinded by it,
Yeah.
and you're just like you're like the deer in the headlights. You're kind of blinded by the great new idea.
Uh-huh.
And then you see that the great new idea is actually attached to a whole lot of great new ideas.
They do. They work like that, don't they?
They do. And what it is you're never not doing, really. A creative person is always creating, whether it's the simplicity of your everyday life or it's working with a new body of work. You're always creating and building. And later on, the insignificant things that you think you've created and built
Mm-hmm.
all at once come and they're very important. And you have to be willing to create the insignificant.
I know. I think these pigeons like our creative life show because I'm not seeing them landing on the deck and coming over
Yeah,
like they are now. So
they're interested.
they
in
are.
It.
Look
Ooh,
at this.
One's
They're
really
coming
interesting.
right up to us.
So this is not too shiny for him.
No, not too shiny. So creative ideas, a lot of times come in clusters.
Yeah.
Because ideas attract one another, so they're really pulling the energy.
Well, they're really
in.
fractals
Yep.
that build
Mm-hmm.
and build into each other, bridge,
Uh-huh.
and they corrugate and they connect, and you're amazed because you just think of them as a single little idea,
Mm-hmm.
and it's got all this ability to fractalize out and
Uh-huh.
then create a bigger idea. And I think it's one of the biggest things that I've learned in my life
Yeah.
about my own creativity and the creativity that we do together.
I think that's one. I think this pigeon in front of us is doing a lemniscate walk.
Oh, I think so.
He's going in figure eights in front of us, and that's the lemniscate.
Yeah, it's very
walking.
meditative
Very
walk
yeah.
that we've learned to do
Yeah.
In the garden.
It's a wonderful way to balance energy and also a wonderful way to receive new ideas.
It is, and to balance them and to take them in deeper.
Mm-hmm. And get that squared perspective that is so important.
Well, it's kind of like the lemniscate reminds me of the twist in the DNA. You know.
Oh yeah, that spiral. Oh, that's so true.
And so as you expand that, I think for us, we've had a lot of ideas that were real grounded in a very deep scientific corrugation at the beginning.
Yeah.
And in the whole process of it, we connected and fractalized and corrugated it into an everyday life. So we almost forgot the significance of the science that's inside of it.
I know.
That's
It's
really...
and that's coming more forward for us again.
Then when it all connects, it has such a brightness that it kind of blinds us. We're like, oh my God, that's going to connect
Kinda
to
like
that, and that's connected to that, and then you get more overwhelmed,
it's like today. Where's my sunglasses? Thank goodness I have them on. So you can adjust to the brightness and then enjoy it. Enjoy receiving all those new ideas and new creative insights.
Right now, we're making sure we do our yoga, and we do our qigong, and we do our walking.
Keep the body connected into the movement
and
of
grounded.
the ideas.
And grounded so we don't
Yeah.
get completely ungrounded. And it's a really tricky kind of thing when you're in that place because part of you wants to just run off with part of it and disappear, and the other part knows get back over here. you gotta take this in. You gotta create a still point, and you gotta let your body get comfortable with it, not run off to Chiclet Land. and that's it's real key. And a lot of times, when all our ideas not only fractalize, but they start creating a whole new dimension, we feel that we're just too small for that.
Yeah.
We don't even have a brain for that. and then you're listening to famous physicists and scientists in their work, like Nassim Harriman, and Greg Braden, scientists, geologists, physicists. And then what's really weird, you start understanding them.
I know.
And you think, listen, I barely made it through chemistry. Oh my gosh, I never.
I'm beginning to get a grasp on this physics.
But when we started, we knew that our work was about the quantum physics of the cell.
Yeah.
But we really knew it through creative work and the ability to channel the field, beyond ourselves through our bodies to create the patterns. And we instinctively knew these patterns were important, but we could write about it, but still we didn't really understand it on an everyday scale. Now we're starting to understand it on an everyday scale, and we're listening to scientists and we were actually chosen to be in the Science to Sage
magazine.
And we're just dumbfounded because we knew it was a science, but we were, what do you call that?
Didactics.
Didactics. Tell them what a didactic is.
Didactic is a self-learner, someone who's not doesn't have a mentor, doesn't not the formal education route, but they have picked up the information personally.
Yeah.
In a direct connection.
And that's really a direct connection with what they call the field. The greater universe of content and knowledge that we are part of. And so because we knew we were part of, we could channel it through. We didn't require the experts or the understanding. We were kind of like little children in a physics classroom. And it was like, oh my God.
But it worked.
It was scary.
Yeah.
We ground our teeth. We got up in the night. We ranted and raved and cried and went on. Because when you work with that energy, after a while, you start getting that energy.
Yeah, and it's 24/7.
That's different than working the energy. I mean, you can know the energy in your mind, but to join the energy with your heart is a whole new collective. And then to start allowing the energy to come within your own frame, so that it can raise your consciousness and also raise the consciousness of others was a very big step. And there was a lot of physicality to it, where there were whole days that you could hardly do anything but allow that energy to buzz around your body, because it's electrical. It's magnetic. It's electrical,
and the body has to adjust to the new frequencies, the new vibration that down to the cellular makeup of the entire etheric core that you flow with is something
some
that you
days
have to adjust to.
Like you're like superpowers, and you can do all kinds of things and think of all kinds of things. And you have all kinds of energy, and other days you are laid flat.
Yeah.
And you're laid flat, and thank God you have loving people around you that understand that significance of the channeling of that field into words and image, and they guardianed that, and they made sure that we had a safe space and the support we needed on those kind of days. And then other days we were like doing all the physicality of our life and in organizing and then just daily taking care of things and working with new coordinates of how to collaborate and how to coordinate new ways of doing things that made things easier. That's really kind of complex. Yeah.
It's been quite a passage in the creative life when that's something that you connected with and desired. You wanted it so much that you made it your day.
Yeah.
Then
it becomes every day. Yeah. Not just one day. And I think right now it's like it was a day by day, moment by moment, and you could digest that. And as we go farther and farther along, more and more is added to it, more complexity, more patterns, more ideas, more ways of assembling things and showing things and bringing in whole collectives of guardians and energetics that can help balance the field that the world is and the field that we carry. And so all at once we're working with whole collectives of archangelic beings and Syrian Fey lines, and we don't even know anything about them. And then all at once we're having guardians of the heart, and all the patterns all mixed in, and then in different shows about oracling, and it's like all at once our life is so full and so embodied in the work that 35 years are gone, and it's presto.
Yeah.
And then all at
Here
once,
we are.
In this time space of the pandemic, that everything has had to go down and settle down inside, and in it, things are starting to come together, not only for us, but other people that have embodied this work. And now all at once, you're listening to scientists and physicists that have done the same thing. They've stepped out of the, what do you call that?
The
Paradigm, for sure.
Yeah.
They've stepped away from what's considered safe biology,
Traditional, conventional.
safe science. They're more in the forbidden science now.
Yep.
And actually, we're watching a whole masterclass on that forbidden science, and we're sitting there like being stunned because that's the science we work in. And we sensed it's a bit forbidden, but we didn't know all the layers of it. And because we've done shows every year with everything we've learned that year in that science.
Yeah.
And it's alchemy. And alchemy is not something that has to be proofed. It's really, unfortunately, it has to be lived. And we've lived inside that alchemy.
Yeah. And
I've just talked and talked.
Well,
I'm sorry.
No. But the traveling through the alchemy, I don't. There are a lot of people. There are people that do know, but there are a lot of people that don't realize that science came out of alchemy. It is the child of alchemy, and then science is now grown up enough that they can have a relationship with its parent as an individual.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So that's really
said.
what science is maturing enough to not feel disempowered by the parent of alchemy.
Yeah.
Science can now accept in its maturity as it's coming into age that there's not a competition there. There's a great potential to
They
be
don't have the parents behind the curtain.
They could to have a companionship, to have a relationship, to have a sharing of love, compassion, ideas, new ways of understanding and exploration. And I think that's where it's coming to.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Well, let's see. No, we still got a little bit of time. So on this beautiful sunny day here at the end of March, this is the year 2023, by the way, just to mark the timeline. Leading a creative life is a constant exploration, fulfilling your curious nature of who, what, where, when, how, why, and going deeper into the elements of yourself.
Well, if you're going to work with your curious nature, you're going to have to work with alchemy.
Yeah.
Because it's one of the most curious things I know.
It is, isn't it? And boy, does it have a long and glorious history. With from Periclesius to Queen Elizabeth I,
To the Mayans.
to the Mayans, to the
It goes
Egyptians,
way back in time.
to
It didn't start
the
just in Europe.
Etruscans, to the
Egyptians.
Phoenicians, to the
Egyptians.
to
Sumerians.
the Sumerians. It goes all the way back,
All the way back to the, what is the shining one?
I'm blanked on it right now. They're also sometimes called the Watchers or the shiny ones, the beings that kind of set the deep foundation here of what a lot of the
of what we are now beyond. I love when Syrian they talk about that the whole evolution, which is another level, the whole evolution of mankind. They had thought was through like Lucy and the and the passage of time and knowledge through the mammal and the ape. That is a real story, but it is not our story.
Yeah.
That we really go all the way back to possibly 200,000 years.
Yeah, yeah.
The kind of being that we are as mankind.
What did he call it? I forget, but it's the modern man. They call it the modern man.
Yeah, and
it comes out of that change in the DNA.
And the modern man is full spectrum.
Yeah.
He's not just one color, one race. He's full spectrum. That's what makes him the modern man.
Well, here we are at a modern day with a beautiful blue sky and sun out, and we're here on the boardwalk.
With all our superpowers.
With all our superpowers, and not all of them tapped into yet, but we're getting there.
All our distinctive
sharing them as we
awarenesses
find,
and sensing systems.
Yeah, and that's one thing I love about
systems, but we can self-regulate.
Yeah, and what I love about our creative life is, as we discover things for ourselves, we are so willing to share them, and the audience for that sharing is up and down. It's minuscule. And it's global at the same time.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it really is.
And we work with a science that is more in the realm of what has been forbidden in this world, because we're pulling on our own abilities to sense beyond the limitations of this world.
It's our relationship with the field, where everything comes from, that is.
Some call it the divine. Some call it. Space,
space-time, the field, all kinds of,
and it's distinctive to what you feel as your wholeness. And I think that we're just beginning. I know this from the work we've done in the decks, that when we come to this time, we haven't even begun to live.
That's true.
We have not even begun to live. We don't have any idea why we have the sense of
vastness,
smell, why we have the sense of taste, why we have the sense of ecstasy. We have not hardly tapped in to what they are.
To the expansive expression of that, I know. So we
more and more of the children are being born with more and more of that available to them.
Yeah. Well, this is a good time.
This has been beautiful sitting here with you all.
Last couple of times I have not mentioned, I should have, but with the Creative Life Show that you're listening to right now, don't forget to go over to our website. It's situlacodex.com. SITULACODEX, all lowercase, one word.
And
you'll find a wealth of
fun and information and beauty.
Yep. A lot of art, there are audios, there are videos, there are flip books, there's everything you'd want to know.
For the sacred life.
For the sacred life and that inner journey.
In the everyday life.
A lot of support there.
Yeah, and today the creative focus was it's about the brightness of your vision.
Yeah.
And being able to stand in it,
Well, that's lovely. Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us. We'll do another Creative Life show. Perhaps it'll be another outdoors one. This is 2 in a row. So this is good. Thank you for joining us, and we will talk to you next time.
The Robert and Suzanne.
Yes. The Creative Life Show. Clarity.